Hi, my name is Tia Powell, and I'm doing my presentation over the attribution theory. This is for psychological foundations. So the definition of attribution theory is basically trying to seek understanding or an explanation and excuses for either a success or a failure. The greatest importance for education in this theory is success and failure and their reoccurring themes, so how students think about success and failures within their education. The three characteristics that the book talks about the most is internal versus external, stable versus unstable, and if it's controllable or uncontrollable. And in this theory, students and people in general want to maintain a positive self-image to their peers or to their friends. And so always success is their own effort and failure is because of bad luck or an uncontrollable outcome. Factors out of their control. So the four explanations would be ability, and ability is internal and it's stable because no matter what, the ability you have is the ability you have. Effort is internal, but it's not stable because a student can decide whether they want to give a lot of effort or a little bit of effort, so it's controllable by the student. Test difficulty is external because it's given by the professor or the educator, and that's stable because it doesn't change. Luck is external and very unstable and very uncontrollable. Attributes of students that have this theory or concept of learning, when faced with failure, they find something to blame, to save face in front of their peers. So if they had a failure on an exam, they're going to blame the teacher for not teaching it correctly, or however they want to perceive it so that they're not the ones that look like they don't have the ability. When it's positive or successful, it raises their self-esteem and they attribute it to themselves, not any outside factors. And this theory also goes into how they perceive their peers and how they help their peers. So if a student has this concept of learning, they're more likely to help another student who has a problem that is uncontrollable. So in the book it talks about if a student has a friend who has broken their leg, they're more likely to help them because that's an uncontrollable factor, instead of helping a friend who didn't study for a test and giving them the answers. So they're more likely to help someone who has an uncontrollable factor rather than a controllable factor. So things to keep in mind as an educator. These students are constantly being evaluated. Even I'm a kindergarten teacher, and even my students are constantly being evaluated all day long, and that a lot of my students have this concept of learning. So with that in mind, I need to make sure that I'm helping reverse that thinking and hitting their needs as they are. I really liked in the book how it talked about this can be not necessarily reversed, but they can be brought from this into, okay, I have to actually give effort to succeed, and I have to learn and try, and it's not because of luck, it's because I didn't put enough effort in. So when giving feedback, I want to make sure that I point out those positive things to them every time and really hone in on the things that they tried really hard on and continue to and help them grow from those things that they tried hard on. What I want to bring into my classroom is just how I give feedback differently. Instead of honing in on the negative things that they did, like the things that they got wrong, I want to hone in on the positive things that they did and give almost like a grade for effort. Definitely with kindergartners, if they're giving an effort to me, that's good. At least they're trying, and I know not all of them are going to be perfect yet with their fine motor skills or even their abilities to do something. If they're putting forth that effort, giving them praise for that. And always reminding students that effort is the main component in learning. If you're trying, if you are listening, and you're giving it all you have, then that's what I expect. And lastly, I just want to show them through example, because that's the best way we can teach our students, is that I'm going to continue to try and strive to be better, and I expect them to do the same.